Well, it's a beautiful, absolutely beautiful September day here in New England. We are in New Hampshire. I'm with Joe and Jim, and thanks to Joe, we are on a permission right now. We're actually, Joe and I have visited before. On this property alone, I found 2 half-cents in the same day. That, of course, wasn't recorded. We were just out having fun one day, poking around this new permission, and Joe called us and said, hey, we should go back there and try it out. So here we are. We are starting in a spot where there potentially may have been a schoolhouse at one point, right here on this little mode section. Where we walk in down the trail, we do go by a foundation. There's not a lot of stones left in that foundation, but there's stones around, bricks, glass, things like that. And we do know that there was a home site there, and way down below us, that direction there, through the trees and down the trail, there's another field. And from the stories, the people that once lived on this land, just like most in New England back in those days, were sheep farmers. So awesome potential to find some really cool history here. We've already proven it once with a couple of coins, those old half-cents. And yeah, I mean, who knows what we're gonna find today. So I'm gonna put the camera away. I'm gonna join up with Jim and Joe. They're already on some targets by the looks of it. And I'll see you guys at the first target here on the beautiful New England permission on a beautiful early September day. Jim strikes first. What do you got, buddy?
An old, what's left of a pocket knife. It had a nice finish on it at one time.
Yeah.
Pretty deep.
Yeah, there's some deep targets. That's some good soil, huh?
Yeah, it rang up different than what I'm used to hearing, but...
Nice. You're on the board, Jimmy. Jim dug his pocket knife right there. I've just been working this edge over here, and I've come over to this section, just working my way around the upper part of the moat area. Right out of that hole, my first relic of today. I didn't really think it was going to be anything great because I just saw that, flipped it over, moved some dirt, and I saw the word president right on there. It's part of an old suspender clasp buckle. Suspender clasp, suspender buckle, whatever. Suspender clasp. And I have found one of these before. Actually, I think I was with Jim, and I was dodging a bunch of yellow jackets in the woods. It's a good way to start the day right there. I'm digging button tones. I'm only getting these paper shotgun shell primers. What do you got, buddy?
I got a piece of a button. It's kind of uniquely shaped.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Where there used to be a shank.
Is it tomback? It almost looks like it's a tomback.
I don't know. It looks like it was purposely shaped that way now.
Could have been. They reused everything back in those days.
There's no way that was just broke like that. They shaped this for something.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't go to Walmart to pick up what you needed on the spur of the moment, you know.
That's
cool.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, I'll let you clean it up and I'll show everybody a close-up.
Cool.
Well, I'll let you guys see for yourself there. I agree with Joe. That doesn't look like it was broken by accident. That actually, I mean, it looks like they clipped that for whatever purpose. I don't know, maybe they were making this for something, or maybe they were making something else for something. I don't know. But it's definitely that tomback material, that metal alloy. And look at that beautiful sunburst design in the middle of that button. That's old. Nice little relic for Joey to take home right there.
Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
Thanks.
We're hammering the buttons now. Joe just picked one up. We can go check that in a minute. I was digging a target, and that popped out of inside the plug. See if there's any design. I can feel the shank on the back. I was hoping it was a coin, but definitely not. I don't see any design there. It's a heavy button too, for sure. And there's text on the back. Let me, I'll clean this up. we'll go up and check Joe's button out too, and I'll show them both to you guys.
I believe it might be Tomback. But look at the back of it. Look at how that.
Whoa! I always do that with targets. Relics. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see it. There we go. Yeah, that's heavy too, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can see it spun.
Yeah.
That's Tomback for sure.
Yeah.
Colonial.
For sure.
That's the button I just popped out right there, cleaned up. You can see it says the whatever gilt on the back.
Yep.
Just your typical flat button from 1800s.
This one was deep. This was 10 inches.
Your button is a lot older than that button, at least by, I'd say, 60, 70 years probably.
Hey, at least we're finding culture, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jim's over there still trying to find all his buttons. I think, Jim, you found a button too, right? Ah, he can't hear me right now. We'll go check in with Jim in a little bit, but cool, Joe. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
You got a good tone there, bud?
Yeah, but I'm worried it's going to be a bullet because of the amount of casings over here.
I just dug a 22 shell casing. I heard it, and I had my headphones on, and I could hear the ringing going on in your headphones. It was such a crisp tone.
Yeah, this one's pretty shallow.
I don't think a lot of the stuff we dug here was really that deep because of the soil. Ooh, what is that?
Bottle cap. Ha! Quack, quack, quack.
Reading a solid 15 on the Equinox. So, holy, this ground's really soft right here. And the dirt is beautiful. Oh no, I see it. That's not going to be good. Well, see what I see? Right there. Yep. Typical New England. Gonna find a lot of this stuff. Well, I believe Joe and Jim just made their way down to the field, way down in that section. And right up here, I decided to, I really wanted just to go slow. I know those guys went through here already, but I'm just really going really slow and digging a lot of the iffy tones. It's a lot of trash, as I could have assumed it would be. You know, all those quick targets that are just not reading up so great. I did manage to find that. It's an old wedge, and that has been worked many years before it was lost. You can see it all smashed down there. Tapers down to a point. It was probably longer at one point, and over time as they used it, it just worn down. And I think I'm probably going to be joining those guys down there very soon. It's pretty warm out. It's beautiful today. Obviously good enough for long sleeves, but still warm enough to sweat. No bugs though, which is great, so can't complain about that. Anyway, I'm gonna work in here a little bit more. I'm gonna work my way down the bank, and I know Jim didn't find anything on his way down, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna hit in here a little bit longer. If I find anything, I'll show you guys. If not, then the next time you see us, we're gonna be down the hill and in a big wide open space. We'll see you then. I have a question for you.
Huh?
I have a question for you.
What?
Why are you out there in the woods when you have all that out there?
Because this is calling me right
Was that an oak?
That's a maple.
That's a maple right there, yeah.
Big oak to your left.
Oh, there's another one right there. Oh, yeah. Look at the size of these trees.
Sugar maple. That's a big oak.
That is, wow. Let's see if I can get a close-up to give you guys a little bit of an idea of how big this tree actually is. Well, there's my hand. I wouldn't be able to wrap my arms around that thing.
You wanted to get the footage of it. This is where I took the picture of that other oak.
Oh, this is where that big, huge oak tree was that we were talking about. I wonder if I still have that picture. That was cool.
Yeah, it's right down here.
I think we were down in those woods over there, weren't we? Way down that section.
Yeah.
And
Statue wasn't here last time, yeah.
up on that knoll there is where I found my first half cent. So, well, I guess we'll leave Jim out there into the woods, and if he finds anything, I'm sure he'll let us know, but we're gonna get the detector swinging. Let's see if we can find anything out here. Right in the mouth of the field, I just popped out this relic. Old brass D-buckle. Well, looks like there was some silver wash on there at one point. That iron pin is pretty much toast, but the brass really holds up over time. And it was a good tone. So, good indication that there's a lot of old stuff in the ground here. And like I said earlier, Joe and I had been down here before. We didn't stay a long time. We just kind of went down and back a couple of times and then out. Definitely a good sign that there's some more old stuff out here to be found, and we're not really in the area we were finding it last time. So let's see what else the ground has to produce for us. I know you guys know where I always go, but I'm curious. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to throw up an aerial view of this field itself. And in the comments below, where would you go? You know, for those that hunt New England or anywhere in the world, if you were coming into a field that you knew had history, sheep farm, some cellar holes around it, things like that, and you had a view like this on top of what you can see in the aerial view, where would you go first? What would be your target and why? I'm very curious. I have a lot of people ask me why I go to the places that I do. I think it would be cool to see why you would go to the places you would go if you came into a section like this. So yeah, leave me a comment and I'd love to know. You got something good there, bud?
Decent tone.
I just pulled up a relic. It's an old iron buckle. And it's pretty beat up. It's pretty brittle. I can feel it just falling apart.
Tell you what.
But what?
Challenge to get through this soil down here. Roots.
Yeah, there's a lot of roots. Right here wasn't too bad. I mean, it's the moss and the. They must brush hog down here quite often and just keep the stuff low. Well, obviously they keep it low. You got anything good over there?
I don't know yet.
I might as well keep it rolling and come on over. Oh, what is that little thing? You found a gun.
Yeah, a little.
That's awesome.
What the hell? Huh. A little gun.
You know
who's rang up so good?
You know who's gonna freak out over that?
Yeah,
Jim. Can I see that for a second?
How old that is?
Oh, you know what I was thinking at first? I was thinking it was like a cuff key right there, but it's not. It's just the gun. Obviously, if I know what it is, I'll put the description below it. But
nice.
Hey, you found a gun, buddy.
Yeah, cool.
That makes your day.
Yeah, for sure. I've never found a gun out detecting before.
You know what we're gonna have to do?
What?
You're gonna have to do a hand drop for Jim.
Oh yeah.
So we'll work our way back over to him, eventually get to him and see what he has and drop the old gun in his hand.
For sure.
There's the mess. Joe had a pretty good tone. And as you can tell, we're a little bit winded from digging.
There's still something in it.
Oh man, I hope I didn't hack it in half. We already know what it is.
I think so.
But let's see. You guys know that I use the root slayer. And that cuts through pretty much anything it wants. And unfortunately, I don't know, maybe. I'm hoping I didn't. Is it the other piece? Or a piece of? Oh no, I did. I did. There might have been more to it too. Maybe. Or does that look freshly cut or no?
Yeah, it's freshly cut.
Oh crap. Pewter spoon bowl. That's old. Getting through all those roots wasn't easy. And we kept losing the tone too. Pewter will do that to you, but if it's on its side like that, I mean, you're really not going to pick up the tone as if it was like that in the ground. Sorry, buddy. Here's your relic. Well, pieces of.
Thanks for the assistance.
So we're gonna make our way back up to Jim. We're not really gonna swing through the woods or anything around here, but I think we're gonna end up back at the cellar hole that's right at the top and where you guys first saw, you know, all the relics and stuff coming out of the ground. We'll keep trudging on up this very steep, I don't know if you guys can tell just by the camera, but very steep trail, and hopefully we can find Jim. Nothing? Nothing at all.
Well, you want to see what I got?
Yeah.
3 there. They're old ones.
Paperback shells. Oh yeah, look at all those.
1, 2, 3 there. You know, that button was earlier. It's beat up. And I got some bullets and shells.
We did all right down there.
Huh?
We did all right down there.
Did you?
We got a few relics.
Yeah, right.
No, we did. Joe found the best.
What'd you get?
Hold out your hand.
Oh!
Do you know what that is? Is it an advertisement piece, or is it? It almost looks like it works, like a little cap gun.
Look, it looks like a little cap gun. I've never seen one like that. What does it say?
Couldn't really see.
I'll have to look at it later. Gift to you. Clean it up.
You don't want it?
No, you can have it. Clean it up.
Really?
Oh.
Just clean it up and show me though when you get it.
Sweet.
Have you went over to that cellar hole yet?
No, that's where I want.
Oh yeah, we can go over to that cellar too.
That's the dessert right there.
Well, let's get at it.
Picked over pretty well.
Yeah. They had to, well, clearly they took all the rocks out of here, using somewhere else. The cellar hole's pretty big. It wraps right around Jim here. What are those eggshells?
Yeah,
some bricks. Nothing, huh?
Lead, hot,
Lead.
flat pieces of lead that sound great.
Have you worked outside of this area or no? Have you gone out in like in the woods a little bit or no?
Just inside all this area.
Yeah. Well, we'll give it a shot in here a little bit longer and call it a day. How about that? Yeah. Moving away from the cellar hole back into the woods, you can see it flattens out. It's pretty easily diggable out here, as we say, and I'm actually right next to it was a small, I wouldn't say this was a barn. just some kind of shelter, maybe an old shed, something like that. It ends right there. I know it probably looks a lot bigger on camera, but it's really not compared to some of the barn sites that we see. But you can always tell where they would either keep their carriage, perhaps they kept their horses at night, something. A lot of times people mistake cellar holes for barn sites when they find big structures out in the woods because of the rocks. They needed the space underneath where they would store stuff for their wagon or their lot, their horses, whatnot, and then they'd build on top of that. Oftentimes this would have been dug out, and when they move, the people that would come behind them with a lot of trash, usually, because there was no building there, it was already a hole, they'd fill it in with all the trash that was left behind. So often we get to places, and that's why we don't really dig inside of these holes or the cellar holes or barn sites or anything, because a lot of times it's just iron trash and junk. Right out here, I was just scratching the surface and I popped that out, and at first I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but after examining it a little bit, I can tell it's just the outside of an old pocket knife. It is old, nothing really special, but it's something from whatever was going on back here back in those times, and who knows what else could be out here lurking. I know I've said many times before, always dig the stuff that's repeatable. Don't pay attention to the VDI scale on your metal detector, especially if you're brand new to the hobby. Just dig it all. If it's repeatable, dig it, because these are tones that I typically wouldn't be digging with this. Again, still learning the machine. I know I've had it for going on a year now. Dug a tone that typically is just can slaw, very deep. You can tell the soil is just like, almost like clay. And lo and behold, out of the depths of the ground, just popped a nice old flat button with shank and everything. There doesn't appear to be any writing on the back there, just an old standard flat button from the 1800s. And yeah, it's helping me end the day strong like I wanted to, and there's got to be more tones in the ground. Nothing is cleaned out, so I'll put it away. I'll carry on, and we're going to be heading out of here shortly, so I don't have much time, but that's not a bad way to possibly end the day. Let's see if there's anything else. I screw with Jim a lot, as a lot of you know, and I told him earlier I found silver. I actually did just find silver. It's small. These guys get on over here. They were getting ready to leave, and this was literally my last target of the day, and it just popped out of the hole. There's a bunch of different targets in this section, so who knows? Come on over. I swear to God, I just popped it out of here. I was like, no way.
What is it?
It's right there. See it?
Button.
That's not a button, dude. That's silver. I can see the edge of it. See?
I was like, this green stuff looks appealing.
See it? That's silver. I can see how the back, you can see the wreath and everything. There's an O mint mark, dude. Give me your water. I was getting tones right in here.
That's funny. I walked right through here. I walked right over it.
Yeah, I walked over here.
It is a barber, huh?
Yeah. I'm surprised.
Let me see.
I would have thought it'd be older than that.
I'm not going to wipe. Yep, there it is. There's the O mint mark at the bottom.
I came up around and I'm like, oh, there's the cellar right there. I was like, it looks
1898. Nice. It's not a barber quarter, but it's a barber. So here it is, the 1898 barber dime. There's the New Orleans mint mark, the O at the bottom there. 90% silver and only, well, just over 2 million minted in that year. Jim, did you just get something too?
I just got a what do you call it?
I don't want to drop this, so I'm not going to hold it, but let's see. Oh yeah, that's an old toe tap.
First one I've ever dug.
You've never dug a toe tap?
No.
Really?
It was whole. I mean, I think I've dug them folded up, but.
That's cool, buddy. Yeah, if you clean it up, I think it's on
right in the
front. Yeah, you
like
can find you can find a patent date, I believe. That's a cool find.
Yeah.
Silver toe tap.
I'd rather have the silver.
Yeah, Jim's still digging, but we're gonna call it a wrap. He's gonna see that we're out of the woods, and he'll start making his way back because he doesn't like being out there by himself when it starts to get dark out. So Other than that, I want to thank this guy right here for bringing us out to another awesome permission. Appreciate it, buddy.
No problem.
It's been a great day. We can't ask for much better weather than this. We do know that winter's coming fast, so I mean, we're limited on how long we're going to be able to get out into the woods and do some digging, unless it's a warm winter. Usually the woods don't freeze during the winter time. Last few years they have frozen solid, and we haven't been able to dig for a few months out of the winter, so maybe this year's our lucky year and we won't get a deep freeze like we have the last few. Fingers crossed. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, thank you very much for all of your support. I hope you appreciated this episode, and we'll see you on the next one. But until that time, happy hunting.